क्या भैया, अच्छे दिन आ गए। जिंदगी बदल गई। गुरु महाराज आ गए गोचर में। उच्च राशि। हाय हाय हाय, जुपिटर एग्जॉल्टेड, ओ माय गॉड, एग्जॉल्टेशन, आई एम एग्जॉल्टेड now. So, did you also get scammed by this exaltation transit of Jupiter, which is very unfortunate? I cannot tell you how many DMs in Instagram I've received and how many consultations I have done in the couple of days recently, and the comments and emails also. Can you imagine emails? All of this, people are saying just one thing: my life has not changed. Jupiter has changed sign, but when is my damn hell like life? When is my when is my life gonna change? कब बदलेगा? बदलेगा भी नहीं, की भी नहीं जिंदगी मेरी. Men, women, children from all age groups are starting to now believe that just because Jupiter changed signs, everything will just magically change. So, if you have also been scammed, then I'm sorry to hear that. But today, I will tell you how can you actually understand this transit. So we have made videos for all 12 ascendants, all 12 sun signs, all 12 moon signs. Oh no, moon sign and ascendant. I've also mentioned the 10 benefits that Jupiter will bring in: Sanatan Dharma, rise of spirituality, and all this. We have discussed all this. But why am I not seeing any change? Well, the first reason, and this reason is the same for any transit of any planet: Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, Jupiter, Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Venus, doesn't matter. For any transit, the result is the same. You need to first check your chart and then your dashas and then transits, but you always do the other way around. The maximum messages I have received from the seventh house related queries: oh, Jupiter has transited to my seventh house, but there is no proposal. I thought there will be a proposal that will magically appear because I'm Capricorn ascendant, right? And for me, Guru is transiting in my seventh house. This damn marriage is not happening, right? Why? Because your dashas are not permitting marriage. That is why it's not happening. So, first, before you freak out on Jupiter, first check your chart. Is there a promise of marriage? I'm not talking of Capricorn ascendant. This is true for any area of life. Is there a promise of promotion? Is there a promise of a good profession? Is there a promise of good health in my chart? Have I done that comprehensive analysis? Is there a promise of foreign travel in my chart? And we are not talking of time periods. When something will happen is not the topic for now. We will discuss it in a minute. Now, the topic is it going to happen or not someday? Today, tomorrow, after 5 years, 10 years, doesn't matter. But is it at all going to happen at all? Is this there at all in my destiny or not? First, find that. So, how do you find that? Well, that's a comprehensive analysis. For that, you have to check all parameters. You have to check the D1, you have to check the D9, you have to check your Astakvarga, your nakshatras, nakshatra lords, you have to check the Shadbal, you have to check the behaviors of the nakshatras, the lordships of the nakshatra lords, the placement of the nakshatra lords. Then, of course, you need to check the yogas, you need to check the Bhavchalit chart, you need to check the Rashi chart. That's a freaky analysis in itself. Once you have done a basic analysis yourself of your chart, you know what is the level. So once you know the level, then you go to dashas, which means you see now which mahadasha am I running, which antardasha am I running, and if also required, which pratyantar am I running. Now, once you have seen all this, then you go to the transits, then you go to Jupiter, right? So, for example, let me talk of Capricorn ascendant. And again, please understand, if at all in this lifetime you want to learn some astrology, like less than 0.1%, and I'm not saying this because out of arrogance, or I'm not saying because I'm learning astrology from 20 years. It's the same for all, myself included in that. If we want to learn astrology, even 0.1%, you have to stop thinking about your own chart 24 hours. You can do it 23 hours. You are allowed, but at least 1 hour a day. Stop thinking about your chart. This is interesting. The more you think about your chart, the less you will know about your chart, right? Why nobody understands astrology? Very few people. Why? Because, oh, sun is transiting here. Oh, that's my fifth house. This will happen. Oh my God. What's happening to me? Oh my God, this will happen. Oh, yeah, yeah, it's coming. Love affair is coming. This is happening. That is happening. You know nothing about dashas and you just think about yourself. You just think about your chart. Oh, yeah, 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 it's there. I have to just go and grab it. It's coming. Does not work like that. So stop thinking about your ascendant. Stop thinking about your moon sign. Stop thinking about your sun sign. First, understand astrology, right? So, suppose you are Capricorn ascendant. Suppose you are Capricorn ascendant, then now Jupiter is transiting in your seventh house. So, that inherently means you believe that, yes, I must get married during this time if I am unmarried, right? But before that, what you should do is you should first check what is the strength of your second house, what's the strength of your seventh house, what is the strength of your 11th house, fifth house, ninth house, and the Navamsha. So these aspects of astrology will decide your marriage. So once you have decided, or once you have seen that destiny has decided that you are eligible to get married, I'm not talking of now or tomorrow, but there is marriage. That is something which you have found. Now you go and see your dashas. Is there a favorable dasha coming? So suppose you are Capricorn ascendant. So for Capricorn, who is the now for Capricorn ascendant, which planets can give you marriage? The second lord, planet in the second house, seventh lord, planet in the seventh house, 11th lord, or planet in the 11th house. They are the best contenders to give you marriage, right? So now, who is the second lord for Capricorn? Saturn, Aquarius, right? The same planet that's ruling your ascendant. And of course, who is your seventh lord? Moon, right? So now, suppose you are running Moon Saturn, Moon Mahadasha, Saturn Antardasha, or Saturn Moon, Saturn Mahadasha, Moon Antardasha, or suppose you are running Mercury Venus, and Venus is in the second, Mercury is in the seventh. Now you can expect that there might be marriage because an auspicious planet like Jupiter is coming and it will now activate your house of marriage. It will activate something which is already there in the dasha. It is like somebody who has come to give you, it's like a postman. What does a postman give you? Does he or she give you something which you are not supposed to get? No, somebody sends it and you get it, right? So now, suppose your Mercury Venus dasha is going on from last 1 year. Now, when Jupiter has transited into your seventh house, now you can ask this question. So, when am I getting married? So, now Jupiter transit is long, right? Till 26th June 2027 in Cancer. So, what does it mean? When will the marriage happen, right? Well, now you see when are the fast moving planets entering your second, seventh, or 11th. So, for example, now you see when our Sun, Mercury, Venus within this year also entering my second house, seventh house, or 11th house. So, your second house is Aquarius, bit far. What is your seventh house? Seventh house is Cancer. So, Sun will enter Cancer around 15th, yeah, July around. Venus is going to enter in a few days, if I'm correct. 8th of June, Venus is entering. You can check when Mercury is entering. Or maybe Mercury is already in Cancer, I'm not aware. But suppose you have seen all this, then now you know that I can get a good proposal, or maybe if my marriage is already fixed, I can get married during this period. Or when the planets like Sun, Mercury, Venus, they will enter my 11th house, right? Then I might get married, which is the sign of Scorpio, right? So, this is how you decide when this transit will be activated. So, similarly, if Jupiter is transiting in a Artha house, which is the second, sixth, 10th, or could be 11th also for money, then you see what is going on in the Dasha first in the horoscope, then in the Dasha. Then, when yes, now this transit has happened, I might get a promotion. Or the Dasha is indicating I might get children. So, for example, suppose you are a Gemini ascendant and your Jupiter is now transiting into the second house. So, will it be that you get married, or will you have children, or will you get a promotion? Because the second house shows all the three. Yeah, interesting. Very contradictory, right? Generally, people say, either marriage or career. I have to choose one thing. Yeah, I cannot focus too much on both at the same time. And what about children? My God. The moment you have children, your career and your married life takes a backseat, initially for the first couple of years at least. But this is very peculiar. Second house shows all the three. So now, which of the three will be active? You can take a random guess. Oh, I'm not married, so maybe it's marriage. Maybe I'm unemployed, so maybe it's job. Maybe I'm married, so maybe it's a job, new job, or maybe it's children. You can keep guessing like this, but you don't need to. So for Gemini ascendant, if you are running dashas of the seventh house, then you may get married. If you are running dashas of the fifth house, then you will have children. If you are running dashas of the sixth or the 10th or the 11th, then you might have a new job. Okay. So that is exactly how you know for a Gemini ascendant what will happen with this transit. Again, this is not about Gemini. This is not about Capricorn. This is to explain astrology to you. And if you are not interested in learning astrology, then you will continue to get scammed. And I'm very happy to see you getting scammed. Why? Because until you get scammed, you will not learn your lesson. I'm so happy. I'm happy to the core that you are getting misled like this and you are getting frustrated. More than misled, you are getting frustrated. Yeah, you feel like all astrologers are cheaters, liars, crooks, thugs. Yes, that is exactly what you deserve because you don't learn core astrology. You are just watching transit videos and you are just thinking, yeah, that's it. That's the end of life. Jupiter has transited to my seventh. Marriage is happening. Shadi hone wali hai meri, right? So, if this is the level of stupidity that you have embarked upon, then I congratulate you. You will be the most frustrated person. Why? Because in astrology, it's very easy to find justification for everything, right? Oh, my Lagnesh is bad, so I'm lacking confidence. Oh, my Surya is bad. I'm lacking a good relationship with my father. I'm lacking, my moon is afflicted. I'm lacking good relationship with my mother, right? So you can always justify anything and everything. So if you don't want to be in this position always, then you need to understand. You have to learn core astrology, comprehensive analysis. Otherwise, only time is separating till Jupiter enters Leo, and then there's a new scam. God is there with you all the time. Just look to Him, and you'll find Him in every scam too. Interesting. For personalized horoscope consultations, you can always go to my website down in the description section, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up and click the notification bell and subscribe to Exotic Astrology. You're new, if you're new. See you until we trap you in the next scam. Don't get scammed.